Before the first man lit a flame, before the first night was illuminated, humanity lived immersed in darkness. There was no warmth, no protection, no hope. The gods kept fire as a divine privilege, something forbidden, distant, unattainable. But among all immortal beings, there was one who dared to question this order. A titan who observed humans not with contempt, but with compassion. His name was Prometheus. And what he did would forever change the destiny of humanity, and his own destiny would be sealed in eternal suffering. This is the story of the titan who defied the gods and paid the cruelest price ever imposed by Zeus. Prometheus was no ordinary god, nor a titan like the others. While many viewed humans as inferior, fragile, and disposable creatures, Prometheus saw something different. He saw potential, intelligence, something that could grow and evolve. It is said that he himself molded the first humans from clay, shaping humanity with his own hands. And observing his creations, he perceived something disturbing. They were too vulnerable, weak against the cold, defenseless against beasts, incapable of surviving in a world dominated by forces far greater than themselves. And then, an idea began to emerge, dangerous, forbidden, inevitable. At the top of Olympus, Zeus ruled with absolute authority. Nothing escaped his control, and among his many rules there was one that could never be broken. Fire did not belong to humans. Fire was power. It was knowledge. It was dominion. Allowing humans access to it would mean altering the balance between mortals and gods, and Zeus would not allow that, ever. But Prometheus decided to ignore this order. He could not bear to see his creations suffer while the gods watched indifferently from above. He decided to act, even knowing he was defying the very king of the gods. In secret, under the watchful gaze of heaven, Prometheus ascended to Olympus. Every step was a risk, every second a potential sentence. He knew that if he were discovered, there would be no forgiveness. But still, he pressed on, until finally he found what he was looking for, the divine fire. A living, intense flame brimming with power. Carefully he stole it, hiding it inside a hollow stem, disguising its light. And then he descended. He descended to the world of men, carrying with him the greatest gift humanity would ever receive. When fire arrived on Earth, everything changed. For the first time, humans could dispel the darkness. For the first time, they felt warmth amidst the cold. For the first time, they cooked food, created tools, and protected themselves from beasts. Humanity took its first great leap, a leap that would mark the beginning of civilization. And for a brief moment, Prometheus watched with satisfaction. He had done what he believed was right. He had given men a chance. But on Olympus, something had changed. Zeus had noticed. Zeus's fury was not something that could be easily described. It wasn't just anger, it was an overwhelming, divine, relentless force. He didn't see Prometheus's act as a gesture of compassion, but as a direct affront to his authority, a challenge, a betrayal, and this could not go unpunished. Zeus needed to do more than punish Prometheus. He needed to set an example, a warning to anyone who dared to defy the gods again. And so, he prepared a punishment that would surpass any imaginable limit of suffering. Prometheus was captured. No chance of escape, no possibility of defense. He was taken to an isolated place, a rocky, cold, and desolate mountain. There, he was chained with indestructible chains, fastened to the rock itself. He could not escape, he could not move, he could not die. And then came the true punishment. Every day a monstrous eagle descended from the heavens. Its claws were sharp, its gaze implacable, and before Prometheus, it did the unthinkable. It tore his body apart, slowly devouring his liver. The pain was indescribable, but the worst came later. During the night, something even more cruel happened. Prometheus's liver regenerated. It grew again, completely restoring itself, and with that, the pain returned to zero, ready to be experienced again. The next day, the eagle returned, and everything repeated itself, again and again, and again, endlessly, without rest, without hope. An eternal cycle of pain created by Zeus to ensure that Prometheus's suffering would never end. This was not just a punishment, it was an eternity of torture. And yet, Prometheus did not repent. Even in the face of infinite pain, he did not go back on his decision. He knew what he had done. He knew the price he was paying. But he also knew that humanity now had a chance, that fire would change everything. And it did. Time passed, eras formed, civilizations were born. And Prometheus remained there, chained, forgotten by many, but never defeated. Much later, a hero would emerge, a man known for his strength, courage, and impossible feats. His name was Heracles, and as he passed by that mountain, he saw something no one should see. A titan, imprisoned, being devoured alive every day. Heracles did not ignore it. He did not turn his back. With a single precise shot, he killed the eagle. Freeing Prometheus from his eternal suffering, the chains were broken, and for the first time in countless years, the Titan was free. But the mark of his punishment would never disappear. Prometheus would forever carry the scars of his choice, a choice that brought suffering upon himself, but gave humanity something far greater. The fire was not just a flame, it was the beginning of everything. Knowledge, progress, evolution, and all of this came from an act of rebellion, an act of courage, an act that defied the gods. The story of Prometheus is not just about punishment, it's about sacrifice, about defying the impossible, even knowing the consequences, about choosing to help, even when it means suffering. And perhaps, this is the biggest question left by this story. If you had the power to change the destiny of humanity, but knew it would cost you your own eternity in pain, would you do the same as Prometheus? If you enjoy mythology, mysteries, and stories that carry profound meanings, this is just the beginning. Here, each video is a new journey, a new legend, a new secret being revealed. So take advantage now, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell so you don't miss the next stories, and leave your like, because that helps this content reach many more people. And tell me in the comments, what story do you want to see in the next video? See you in the next episode.